All right, let's talk about 48-volt solar systems. They are awesome, right? Super powerful, incredibly efficient, but all that power comes with some serious responsibility. You know, if you get the wiring wrong, you're not just looking at a system that won't turn on. You're looking at a huge safety risk. So let's dive in and make sure your system is safe, sound, and built to last a long, long time.
And trust me, that is no exaggeration. The gear in these systems, the charge controllers, the inverters, it's expensive and it's sensitive. A single tiny mix-up with a wire can cause permanent damage and I mean this literally, a flash. The stakes are incredibly high.
Now, I know this might sound a little intimidating, but here's the really good news. Almost every single catastrophic mistake can be avoided if you just understand 3 basic electrical ideas. If you can get these 3 things down, you are 90% of the way to a safe and super reliable solar setup.
Okay, first up is polarity. In a DC system, which is what solar is, electricity only flows one way, from the positive side to the negative side. Think of it like a one-way street. It's the most fundamental rule there is, but it's also the most unforgiving. There's absolutely no room for error with this one. Next, we've got current, which we measure in amps. The easiest way to think about this is like the amount of water flowing through a pipe. The more sunlight hits your panels, or the more panels you add, the more water is trying to get through. And managing this flow is absolutely key to stopping things from getting way too hot. And finally, there's voltage. So if current is the volume of water, voltage is the pressure pushing it. In a 48-volt system, we're talking about some significant pressure. And that's exactly what lets us move a ton of power so efficiently. So those are our big 3: polarity, current, and voltage. Everything else builds on these. So let's start with the big one, the single most destructive, instantaneous mistake you can possibly make. And it all comes back to that first concept we talked about, polarity.
The problem sounds almost too simple. You accidentally swap the positive and negative wires. You take the positive lead from your solar array and plug it into the negative terminal on your charge controller. It's the kind of thing that can happen when you get distracted for just a second, but the result is immediate. And here's why it's just so terrifying. The fancy electronics inside your charge controller, that MPPT, they are a one-way street. If you send power the wrong way, you will instantly fry those internal circuits. We're talking a literal puff of smoke, and your $1,000 piece of equipment is now a paperweight. Even worse, you can trigger a DC arc flash, which is basically a small, incredibly dangerous electrical explosion. No thanks.
So the solution is thankfully simple, and it is 100% non-negotiable. Before you connect any wire, you take out your multimeter. You touch the red lead to what you think is positive and the black lead to negative. If you see a positive number on the screen, great, you're good to go. If you see a little negative sign next to the voltage, stop, your wires are swapped. This 5-second check will literally save you $1,000. Okay, so you've nailed polarity. Let's move on to our second big concept, current. If you get your polarity right, but you mess up the current management, the danger isn't an instant puff of smoke. It's more like a slow burn that can easily end in a fire. Here's the deal. Not all wires are created equal. The problem is using wires that are just too skinny for the job. See, every single wire has a speed limit, a maximum amount of current it can handle safely. If you try to push too many amps through a wire that's too thin, you're setting up a recipe for disaster.
An undersized wire becomes, for all intents and purposes, the heating element inside a toaster. It starts to glow, it gets incredibly hot, it melts its own plastic insulation, and it can absolutely ignite anything flammable nearby. And even if it doesn't cause a fire, all that heat is just wasted energy. It's called voltage drop, and it's a silent killer of your system's efficiency.
So the fix for this starts with understanding how you're connecting your panels. If you connect them in series, positive to negative, the voltage goes up, but the current, the amps, stays the same. But if you connect them in parallel, all the positives together and all the negatives together, the current adds up. And this is so important because a parallel setup can massively increase the amps your wires have to carry. You have to know your numbers before you pick your wire.
Right. So once you know your maximum current, you can choose the right wire size or gauge. The rule of thumb, the big goal, is to keep your energy loss, that voltage drop we talked about, below 3%. As you can see here, you just need to know your current, the resistance of the wire, and how long the wire run is. You plug those in, and you can make sure your voltage drop is well within that safe and efficient limit. It's a critical step.
And now we get to the mistake that happens when people try to cut corners, maybe save a little bit of money up front, and that's skipping what is essentially your system's insurance policy.
The problem is simple. People think fuses and breakers are optional. They are not. They are probably the single most important safety feature in your entire system. They're designed to be the weakest link in the chain, to sacrifice themselves in an instant to protect all your expensive equipment and, your house.
This says it all, doesn't it? Imagine a squirrel chews through a wire, or a connection comes loose and causes a short circuit. Without a fuse or a breaker to slam on the brakes, your batteries will dump a nearly unlimited amount of current into that short. All of that energy turns into heat, creating a thermal event. And let's be real, thermal event is just a fancy engineering term for a fire.
The good news is, sizing them is actually really easy. As you can see here, it's a simple 3-step process. First, you figure out the maximum continuous current that circuit will ever see. Second, you multiply that number by 1.25. That gives you a nice little safety buffer. And third, that final number, that's the size of the fuse or breaker you need. It's really that simple.
All right, let's talk about our final mistake. This one is super common, and it's dangerous because it often hides in plain sight, causing all sorts of weird, hard-to-diagnose problems and, of course, hazards. We're talking about connections that just aren't fully clicked in or tightened down all the way. Whether it's the MC4 connectors on your solar panels or the big terminals on your battery bank, even a teeny tiny gap creates a point of high electrical resistance. Electricity really struggles to jump that gap. And that struggle, well, it creates a huge problem.
The consequence is heat, a ton of heat, all focused on one tiny little spot. We call this a hotspot, and it can easily get hot enough to melt the plastic connector right off. And, yep, you guessed it, it can become the ignition point for a fire. In fact, loose connections are one of the top causes of fires in solar installations. And once again, the solution is beautifully simple. For those MC4 connectors that snap together, you have to push them firmly until you both hear and feel a solid click. For any terminal you tighten with a wrench or a screwdriver, tighten it down to spec and then give the wire a little tug. It shouldn't move. At all. So, let's put it all together. This is your professional safety checklist. You always verify polarity with a multimeter, no excuses. You calculate your panel configuration and loads before you run wires. You pick the right wire gauge to keep that voltage drop under 3%. You install properly sized fuses and breakers. You make sure every single connection is tight and secure. You use insulated tools and gloves. And finally, you double and triple check your work before you flip that final switch. A safe system is always a methodical system.
In the end, it really just boils down to this one question. The difference between a solid, reliable solar system that lasts for 25 years and a dangerous fire hazard isn't about luck, it's about knowledge and taking your time to do it right. Now, of course, please remember, electrical work is dangerous. This is all for educational purposes, and you should always consult with a qualified, certified professional for your specific project. Thanks for joining me.